Hey everybody, welcome back to The Last Shed on Dead End Street. My name is Tim. Tonight I watched the Exterminator movies from 1980 and 1984. If you are familiar with the Exterminator, then you've seen the cover, which is an absolutely incredible cover of a man in a welder's mask, leather suit, brandishing a flamethrower. It is one of the most kick-ass looking covers of videos in the 80s. And you don't see it at all, really. It's kind of disappointing. They need to make a third one so we can see that, because it kind of does not deliver on the promise, which I am sad to report. Anyway, but with that said, their tactics are understandable. When it came out, they had to really grab the attention of people that maybe didn't have a very long attention span, and so they had to get the people into the theater, and so definitely a marketing ploy. Now, it's not to say there is not any merit at all to Exterminator 1 and 2. Exterminator 2 does deliver a little bit of the idea of the image that they present. But the first one, not really. He brandishes a flamethrower, and that's kind of pretty much it. Anyway, but it is really cool to see. I like movies from 1980, particularly in New York, and showing the state of the city and infrastructure at the time. So it's really neat to see that and see a story that's kind of based around that idea. The bustling, law enforcement system. And in this movie, The Exterminator, it is about a guy, a Vietnam veteran, who comes back home and is trying to make an honest life, living, blue-collar lifestyle. He has a buddy, he's well-liked, in a very small, tight group of friends, one of which comes from Vietnam, or was in Vietnam with him. And one day when they're working, something happens, and the friend is attacked, and he's injured in such a severe manner that it is absolutely going to affect his life. I don't want to ruin what happens, but it's pretty terrible what happens. So understandably, his best friend, his Vietnam War buddy veteran, wants vengeance. So he goes after the ghetto ghouls, who are the kind of bad guys at the very beginning of the movie. And once he checks them off his list, then he kind of goes, through other people that are kind of being a menace to the public at large. And so he's a vigilante. So it's, following on the heels of Death Wish and Dirty Harry and these types of things. It's fourth tier of those. But top tier advertising, because like I said, it has one of the greatest video covers, but it does not deliver on the promise at all. I was a little disappointed. It is pretty hot here tonight in the old shed, and although this movie didn't exactly present as a warm climate or anything, still New York has kind of a griminess to it and whatnot that kind of lends itself to me watching it tonight in this way, which I like a lot. So in the first movie, you have let me get the remote here. I'll give you some actors. One second. So we have Christopher George as the detective hunting down the Exterminator, which Christopher George is always absolutely great. So if you like Christopher George, come on, you got to watch it if you haven't seen it already. The main character here is Robert Ginty. He plays the Exterminator. And when I was watching, I kind of had a joke later, which is if you are a basketball fan and you're a horror fan, this is great, because it's like if Larry Bird was a vigilante psycho killer, because the guy kind of looks like Larry Bird without a mustache. And we also have Samantha Eggers in the first one. In the second one, we have Robert Ginty as well, coming back as the Exterminator, but we also have Mario Van Peebles, which is actually really, really great to see, especially during this time. He's really, really owning it. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to love the Exterminator movies more than I actually ended up enjoying them, so take that as food for thought. I think if any movie, they remake a lot of things these days, and it's really unfortunate because some of the properties are so strong. It's like, why are you even bothering? What do you have to add to this? But the Exterminator movies could use an Exterminator 3 in 3D with the fucking guy in the welding mask, in the leather suit, burning bad guys down with a flamethrower. Because that's what we wanted. Give it to us already, for God's sakes. But anyway, the music is actually pretty good in the Exterminator movies. I will say that. The first movie was directed by James Glickenhaus, which is pretty cool. He does make some solid things. And I will say that, again, the poster and all the marketing, all that stuff, presents something that makes you want to see it, so you go and see it. Now, it also has subject matter that does cater to the crowd it was trying to cater to. Again, these people that are maybe they're filling these dilapidated cinemas in inner cities and whatnot, and they've seen everything all day long sitting there, and like some needs to kind of shake them awake a little bit. And so this there's definitely some pretty guttural seedy shit in Exterminator 1 and 2. Anyway, I don't know if I can recommend them. But if you're a completionist to 80s movies, maybe you gotta go through it yourself. Maybe I'm wrong here. Anyway, so tonight I watched Exterminator 1 and Exterminator 2 from 1980 and 1984. My name's Tim. This is The Last Shed on Dead End Street.